Hi everybody, it's Ginger Minj from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 7, All-Stars 2, and All-Stars 6. Today, I'm going to be recreating for you my award-winning pop art look from the Snatch Game episode of Season 6. I can never tongue pop. Watch me go from this to this. Now, of course, before you begin, it's important to prime the pump. And I like to do that with this nice generic primer serum. It's a hydrating rose water. It also makes me feel very popular. Gosh, that feels luxurious. You never know it was $3. So you get it in your eye, and then you can definitely tell it was $3. All right, so once that sets, gets a little bit tacky, like we all love, take your nice all over full coverage foundation, get that brush good and caked, just like that. And then just start rubbing it in circles all up your face till you fill in every wrinkle, every crease, every pore. The imperfections just disappear. And if you're a gal like me who has lived her life in the blistering heat of the farm, I haven't, but sometimes you get those little wrinkles. I say don't cover them all up because every wrinkle tells a story. That's the map of my journey, and I'm gonna let you follow it. That's good. I'm gonna write one of those calendars, those everyday calendars, just a little helpful hint to get you through the day. And what I'm gonna do now is move on to the highlighting. So I take a shade, it's just about 3 or 4 shades lighter than my regular foundation. And then I'm gonna take this nice little blending sponge, and I'm just gonna go in and tap my highlighted areas. Then I take it between the eyes. How many times have I said that? Take it between the eyes and just blend up and out. Now, what we're gonna do is we're going to do our contour. So I'm just gonna take a nice dark brown and I'm gonna draw in kind of the areas that I want to make sure that I contour, I kind of decrease. So I always start at the top of the ear and I go halfway down my cheek. And then I want to make a little triangle, like a little slice of pizza, and just fill it in. So now you've got a little slice of pizza on the side of your face. And who doesn't want that? That's kind of exciting, it makes me hungry. What's your favorite kind of pizza? Sound off in the comments below. Then I start from the bottom of the ear, right up here, and I'm gonna bring it right down my jawline like this. Then start from the center and just bring a line down. Start from the ear, bring a line in. So you look like some kind of weird grill on a car. Then right up here, I start in my dainty, delicate hairline and I bring it down to the side of where I want my eyebrows to end. So I'm gonna want my eyebrows to end about here. And then one final swipe right across the bottom of the nose. If you look insane, you're doing it right. Then I'm gonna take my angular beauty sponge and I'm just gonna start buffing this out, taking the lines down to where I want them to go. Once you've got those lines drawn, then you're just gonna take the flat end of your beauty sponge and start tapping it and dragging it up. Just like that. Look how gorgeous. It's always best to open your mouth when you do this, like you're gonna catch the sponge as it comes towards you. The thing that I've learned with the neck contour, and it took me 3 seasons of Drag Race to kind of figure out what worked best for me. I used to go all the way back here with my dark contour, just trying to make everything disappear. But when you do that, you kind of look like a floating head. Like you belong in a fishbowl at Disney in the Haunted Mansion just floating around. You don't want to look like that. So to create the delusion of a neck, I won't say illusion because I'm probably deluded in thinking I look like I have a neck. I like to take it from the sides of the ears and drag it down this way. Girl, sometimes I look at pictures of me from season 7. I mean, don't get me wrong, I look pretty. And y'all can tell me different, but I ain't gonna believe it because I was there and I saw it. But there are some times where I look at it and go, you look like Neapolitan ice cream. You got a brown stripe, a pink stripe, and a white stripe. We're gonna move up to the forehead contour. And I have a 5 head because I actually shave my hairline back. It's just, to me, I like the look. It's something I enjoy. And it's also easier whenever I glue wigs down because in the past, my hairline does grow kind of low. And when I would glue wigs, it would just rip the hair right out. So I ended up with patches. And I don't want patches. Well, so I'm just gonna go from kind of the high point of where I want the arch of my eyebrow to be. And I'm just gonna start pulling it out. Whenever you're done with the initial step of your contour, this is kind of what it should resemble. What I really like to do at one time at this point in the process, and that sounds so professional, the process, I like to take a foundation shade that is somewhere between my base and my highlight. And then I'm gonna run it along the line from the corner of my mouth almost up to my ear. And then take a nice flat sponge and just start working that in and pulling it down. And then once you've got that kind of here where it's blended out but it still gives you a nice crisp line, we're just gonna go over and we're gonna soften out all of the harsh lines. So don't be afraid, just take it and tap it all the way around. The important one really is right up here in the forehead because you want it to kind of look like a shades of brown and cream rainbow. Once we've got all that, take your highlighter sponge that you've already got. You should have enough product on there. Now's the perfect time to just go in and give it one final smooth before we powder it in. I like to take, it's a white translucent, make sure it's a translucent and not like a super white powder, and start to set all of those highlight areas. I'm using a new powder today that I've never used before, so we'll see how this goes. It's gonna be a learning experience for all of us. That's the look. Make sure you get those corners of the nose so you don't look creasy and greasy later. All right, now before we go further on the nose, now that we've got that kind of sitting and settling, we're going to take a super white, I like to use the stick for this as well, and we're going to put the highlight down the center of our nose. Just take the flat edge and run a little line right down the center of your nose, and then make an exclamation point. It's an exclamation point because it's exciting. Go ahead and set it. All right, while the white is starting to set, take a nice neutral pink. I like to use one with a lot of pink tones in it. Ooh, how pretty that is. And just start running it under the line of the cheek. Run around the highlight on your chin and your other chin. Do the half circle right in the middle so that's nice and thick. And then just blend that out to the sides because you don't need too much on the sides. Take that same pink and just to kind of brighten up and make all of this a little warmer so it doesn't look like a beard, so it doesn't look too dark or doesn't look too gray. You want to take that same warm tone and just powder it all over the contour. Run it up and down the sides of the nose. And now, as your last step for setting all of this, you're just gonna take the sponge that you have and try to blend the powder up onto the cheek contour. Now's a good time to take a brush and just powder off your blouse. It also feels very good. All right, so now that the white has been sitting on there and kind of drying all those oils out, go ahead and brush off the excess that is on the lid down to the side of the nose. Girl, I can tell already I am not gonna like this white powder. It's fine, we're gonna make it work. That's what drag is. Then take more of that horrible cheap white powder. Is this baby powder? This might be baby powder. It's fine, it smells nice. And just really cake that right there just to kind of catch all of the droplets from our eye work. So now I'm gonna take a dark brown kind of eyeshadow contour. This is going to be our guide through the journey that is our face. I like to start kind of like half an inch or so from the corner of my eye. Just make 2 little dots right there. You can kind of see where the natural crease is. You want to draw above that because we're going to extend our crease. Particularly for something like pop art, which is so bright and vibrant and over the top. Start dragging, get it, dragging, all the way up your eye and connect it with the corner of your eyebrow. And just start tapping that down. And then bring it down the bottom and go about 3/4 of the way. Now take that same brush with that same brown and just kind of go over where we did the contour on the tip of the nose earlier. Because we really want this nose to pop. Art. Whenever we were told we had to do pop art looks, you know, my mind immediately went to kind of the Marilyn Monroe. You know, everybody knows the Marilyn Monroe, where it's the 4 pictures of her, and it's all the different colors. I think it's just so striking and beautiful, and she looks so glamorous in it, that I wanted to take that and recreate it for myself, but kind of turn it on its head. No pun intended, because it's all heads and faces. I wanted to kind of look at it through a new lens and make it fun and funny for me. That was my inspiration for this entire look. Now I'm gonna take 2 shades of brown. Just take that with that same brush that already had your brown on it, and we're gonna start blending this brown right here and smooth out the edge. I've always thought that Marilyn Monroe was so beautiful. To me, she was just such a drag queen. She was so glamorous. Always wore way too much makeup, way too much hairspray in her hair, and had a full character and voice, and that just spoke to me. I loved it, and I still love it. And underneath that, she was just a little country girl, like myself. We're gonna go down the sides of the nose with the same thing. Take as much of that color and pigment off of the brush as you can. You're just gonna bring the edge of that nose contour down. You're just gonna soften it. Who's that chiseled goddess? It's me. So now we're going to move on to the colors of the eye, like the actual bright, exciting colors. So since there's so many colors in the dress, you really want the colors to pop. You wanna make it vibrant, you wanna make it pretty and fun. So look at the look that you are creating and pick your favorite colors that really stand out. To me, for this, it's the purple and the pink. I'm gonna take a nice dark purple. I'm just gonna start tapping in the dark purple on one side. You don't wanna do this to both sides, just one. So that's gonna create our new crease right there. And make sure on the side, you do keep it going up at a bit of an angle like this, because if you bring it straight out, your face is gonna just kind of sit where it is gonna be. It's gonna look wider. You want it to look like it's drawn up, like somebody just grabbed you by the hair and went, and now you're snatched. That's what they mean by being snatched, mama. And now that you've kind of got this line over here, feel free to go in and give it a little more of an angle, fill it out, make it fleshy and delicious. I'm gonna take a nice hot pink like that. Ooh. I'm gonna do the same thing that we did with the purple on the other eye. I always find myself like holding my body in weird positions while I'm getting into makeup. Every time I do this eye, this hand suddenly comes up like this on my shoulder. I'm like, my precious. So now you've got these 2 creases going on. We're gonna bring the same colors underneath. So take that pink, since we've already got it, and just go under the eye. Now that we have these lines on, we wanna blend them out. We want them to, again, have kind of that gradient effect that we're doing with everything. My drag, in particular, is prettiest when it's blended out. We were talking about that girl with the Neapolitan ice cream earlier. I don't know her anymore. I feel like Mariah Carey. I don't know her. You're gonna take a nice medium shade of purple and just blend this new one in just to soften those edges. See, look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. Now, take that same color, and just soften that front edge. Make sure you bring it down the edge of the nose just a little bit. So I like to take white and just run it right up the center of the nose. Doesn't have to be super crazy. I draw a little triangle on the tip, and then I really just go in up here under the eyebrow. So now that you've got your eyes done to this point right here, we're gonna go in and fill in the center of our eye. And today, because there's so much fun, vibrant yellow in the outfit, I'm gonna use a nice yellow color. Sunshiny, eggs yolk right there. And I'm gonna put that in the pink, put it in my pink eye, right over here. Now, I'm gonna take more of a golden mustardy yellow for the purple eye. It's not gonna be much of a difference, but I just think the tones kind of work better together. All right, so now that we've got that, we're going to draw our eyebrows on. Now, I like to start with a little angled brush. Look how cute that is. It says eat, sleep, makeup, repeat. That is pretty much my entire beauty regimen, except for sleep. I never get to sleep. Take that same brown that we used for the contour earlier. Start at the base corner underneath, right over here. And then bring it down the side of where you've put that highlight. Just go all willy-nilly, just dive in head first, eyebrow first. So that's the basic shape of the brow that I want on this side. Now y'all have these nice lights set up for me, this beautiful background, all these things. I'm not used to that. I'm used to painting on like a keg of beer in a dusty, dark back room at some nightclub or in some theater that's 200 years old, and they've got one hanging light bulb. So I'm not used to all of this light. It's kind of scaring me. I didn't really know what I looked like in the light. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's glamorous, and I'll have you say nothing different. So now that we've got this, we need to move on to the liquid eyeliner. It's not my favorite part, but I feel like this is the most important part of my drag. As Michelle has said in the past, I give good face. So I like to make sure my eyes are big and bold and expressive. I like to take my nice liquid eyeliner and I start with my beauty mark so that has time to dry while we're doing the rest of the eye. And then just tap in that beauty mark right there. Just let it sit. I'm gonna start sketching out the triangle shape of my eyeliner. Bring it all out to a wing. Make sure you don't make the tip too crazy. All right, don't get too carried away with the tip. You wanna just tap the corner and then bring it all the way down. So you have a nice triangle, see? Now just go in and fill it in to your heart's content. Whew, did it. Now that we've got this, we're gonna go and follow this line and continue it underneath. And you don't want it to be crazy. You don't need it to be too bold. I'm looking at the color here and I'm noticing that I do want to add a little more brightness to it. So I want to find a small loose brush. You just take a little bit of the orange and you blend out the edge. Take your good powder brush, your good blending brush, and just start getting rid of all of this excess powder because now we're going to go in and do the rest of the face. Yeah, see, I hate that white powder. Whatever you do, don't use this white powder. I don't even know what it is, unbranded. This literally looks like somebody banged out the chalk erasers and then took the droppings and said, here, girl, get into drag. So now for our cheeks, now that we've got most of the chalk dust blown away, take that same brown. I like to use this brush. It's like a, I don't know the names of brushes, but it's this brush right here. I rub the edge right there in that brown contour, knock off the excess, and I just run it along this line that I've already set with my cream foundation. There's barely any product on this brush. I'm trying to do a lot of the blending work as I'm putting on the product. After we get the cheek on like this, we're gonna move down to the chin, and we want in the chin, the neck. I don't have a neck, so I'm trying to create the delusion of one. We're gonna take this and follow the same lines that we did with our cream contour. Again, not making it too crazy over the top dark. There's a product for everything now, and I've learned since season 7, actually I'd say since All Stars 2, I really started getting excited about makeup and fashion and trying to learn more about those things. So I've started taking more risks and chances when it comes to the way I paint myself and the things that I wear. And 9 times out of 10, they pay off just because I'm having fun. And when you have fun, they have fun. I also think social media has been a really interesting thing. Any trick or tip that you may need is at your fingertips. We didn't have that when I was learning how to paint. Everybody just kind of learned from who their drag mother was. And I think that's why if you came from one specific scene, that's really all you knew. Like, I came from the pageant world, so it was the Neapolitan ice cream. It was always brown, pink, white. Whether it was your cheek, your eye, everything was brown, pink, white. Now I'm gonna take a softer brush and dip it right back into the same brown contour that we've been using. And you're just gonna blend these out. You're gonna circle blend the harsh lines that we just put on. Now, we're gonna go back to the lighter contour color. I just do it like this, because it gives me a nice warm color. Circle blend it all the way up. So then when you go back in to the forehead, now we want to kind of blend where this harsh edge is right here before the highlight. We're gonna blend that with our new special seasoning right over here. Those lighter shades of brown and the orange. All right, so that's what that looks like. It's getting there, we're getting there. And I'm very proud of you. Now we're gonna take another brush that was kind of like the one we just used, but specifically for the blush of the cheek. I like to do a nice pink. And when I say pink, I mean like pink. This one's got little flecks of glitter in it, which makes me feel very fancy. I like to smile real big, start at the apple of the cheek, and then just blend it out. I love blush. I know that a lot of people are like, oh no, I want a more natural look. I want something that's not quite so in your face. No, I love blush. Take the same color and just kind of circle blend it right up above the brow into the hairline. And then hit the tip of the nose, the tip of the chin very lightly, just because it's fun. Now I'm taking that orange that I was talking about earlier, and I'm just lightly going to put it over the top of the pink, lightly. All right, so now that you look like you've been laying out in the sun for 7 days, I want you to take that horrible white powder and you're gonna re-highlight, just powder all of that down right on top of the pink. Just re-highlight your highlight areas. Now, take your pink setting powder right here and do the same thing as before. There you go, something soft and subtle to run down to the grocery store. All right, now brush off just the tip of the nose and take a white liquid eyeliner, and you're gonna tap a little dot right on the tip of the nose. Take that same white and we're going to go into the corner of our eyes. Take your nice blending brush and we're just gonna start blending all of this monster out. All right, remember, nice circular motions. I'm gonna take my highlighter palette, and I know people are gonna scream when I do this. They will be screaming, but I just like to use my finger. I like to just dip into this, like this white highlighter right here. Touch it to the tip of my nose, just so it kind of highlights over that dot we made there. Run it lightly up the bridge of my nose. Reassert the finger. Assert, yes, not insert. Run it down my cupid's bow, up my cheek, all the way down. And whatever you have left over, just dab it between the eyes and on the chin. It's fine. What the hell? Just go for it. Now we need to draw our lips on. And I want to go with a nice bright red today. I love a red lip. I love a red lip. I just think it's classic. I think it's bold. I think it's powerful. I always make a little V right there. I like to overdraw my lips. I do. It's what I enjoy. And particularly in a look like pop art, I think that it's fun that every feature should be a little over the top, a little larger than life. There you go. Looks like, ooh, looks like a half of a very fancy mustache. And then when I'm going below, I always draw the line all the way across the bottom lip underneath it and then pull it up to the corners. I think that it looks a little bit neater when you fill it in with the pencil before you put the liquid lipstick on. It helps to blend the line from your natural lip to where you've overdrawn it. Let me find a good red lipstick. So it's red, red, red. And you're just gonna fill in that whole space. Just go for it. Just like that. Oh yeah. Tap your lips together 3 times and think of home. I like a mascara that has a very thick applicator, a nice heavy wand. Now everybody knows this is professional makeup tip 101. You have to open your mouth and slightly let your tongue hang out while you put on your mascara. Just like So after you get the top good and lacquered with the mascara, you send them home. No, just kidding. Get the top good and lathered, then take the wand and just turn it on its side like this. And with the tip, just rub it along the edge. You just want to thicken them up a little bit. You want to make them thickening, mama. We're lipped, we're mascaraed, we have most of it on at this point. We just have a few finishing touches. It's important to set this. Like, you don't want it to go anywhere. You want to make sure everything is perfectly blended and in its place and where it needs to be. Put a lot of it on. Ooh, that smells delicious. Smells like cucumber melon. Whoever thought of that combination too? Like cucumber and melon. It's beautiful. Oh, she is gorgeous. Now what we want to do is we want to put on our eyelashes. So I'm going to use these lashes. They're called 304s. And they're small. They're like the shape of a 301, which is like the traditional drag lash, but they're shorter. They're shorter and they're better for what I want to do. So just put your lashes on, take your finger and really make the eyelash do exactly what you want it to do. Take that black liquid liner and very carefully go through and just fill in that gap between your lash line and the false lash line. I always like to go over it with another coat of mascara just to kind of push your natural lash into the false eyelash. We are going to do my favorite part, which is pop on a couple of rhinestones, give you a little sparkle and shine. All I have are these tiny rhinestones today. So let's see if I can even maneuver these. Here we go. And then just pop it under your eye and repeat ad nauseum. It's an old school trick with the rhinestones and the glitter because any lines that have not turned out as clean as you want them, or any aspects of your makeup that might be a little muddier than you had anticipated, you can usually brighten them up and cover them up with glitter and rhinestones. And the audience just go, oh wow, I've never seen you look so stunning. And luckily, most of the time they are inebriated. Gloss that delicious red lip of yours. Make it tender and juicy. All right, once the mug is beat, all you need is an outfit to complete the look. I mean, it doesn't really rhyme, but you get what I'm going for. Anyway, you just hold tight because I'm gonna go put on the entire look for you, okay? And there you have it, my full pop art fantasy. I love this look because it's a feast for the senses. It's bright, it's colorful, it's silly, and it just epitomizes Ginger Minj. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. And I hope you've had half as much fun as I did today getting ready. I love you guys, and I can't wait to get out there and hug each and every one of you.
Do you want everything RuPaul's Drag Race at your fingertips? Then head over to YouTube now and subscribe to the RuPaul's Drag Race channel, and you will get all the episodes of everything you ever want, including brand new episodes of What You Packin'. Hi.